Two people can retire with the same amount of money and have very different retirements for a variety of reasons. One person might retire when markets do well, one person might retire when markets don't do well, and that changes how much they can spend for the rest of their life. But a lot of that's out of your control. Yes, you can pick your asset allocation, but it doesn't mean markets are going to perform in a way that's advantageous to you. You can put yourself in the best position possible, but there are things that are in your control. And an example is where you save your money, whether you add it to a 401k or to a superhero account, which is my nickname for a brokerage or taxable account. Now, what I'm going to show you is a sample case today so that you can see the value of this superhero account and why most people mistakenly don't use this account, especially when they already have saved a lot of money to their 401k, IRA, pre-tax money. So this to me is one of my favorite things to talk about because you can very easily see the tangible value. Now, what I'm gonna really show you is how to pay 0% in taxes in this video. What I wanna make sure you understand, this is completely legal. This isn't like that Ozark Netflix show where it's like, hey, what are they doing with, like, that's crazy. It's a good show though, if you haven't seen it. But what I really wanna go into more detail on is how to determine when's the right time to add to one account over another. So I'm gonna show you, if you look at my screen right now, a sample case. This is someone who's 57, and I'm gonna show you them with nearly $1.1 million with all their money in a 401k. Now, I'm gonna then show you a case where if I were to tweak one thing, just where this account is held, but the same amount, how that impacts their tax bill in retirement. And I hope this is enlightening because it might just change how much you can spend for the rest of your life. By the way, I put out this video here to show you how you could generate north of $120,000 of income tax-free using the strategy I'm going over today. And 100,000 of you guys were like, wow, that's the strategy I didn't know existed. I wanted to know about it earlier. Why didn't someone tell me? Well, I hope you don't have that feeling now because I'm about to show you. I'm Ari, a certified financial planner and host of the Early Retirement Podcast. I just want everyone to know when they can retire early. If you love your job, great, keep doing it. But if you don't, I don't want you to feel forced to be there. I want you to know you could walk away if you feel personally you're in a good position. Now, what I'm going to be using today, my little assistant, is going to be this guide you can see on my screen here. It's called my 2026 Important Numbers Guide. And if you want to use this guide for your own retirement, comment 2026 below and I will send you this guide. What you can see is it has everything you could possibly dream of when it comes to your financial numbers. And what I'm going to be focusing today is this upper left quadrant here. This is your ordinary income taxes that most of you know today. And what I'm going to show you is how you can use this in relation to this long-term capital gains tax and how these two things really would change your retirement. Now, what I don't want to do is just do fluff of, okay, so yeah, I get it. I should have saved more over here and now I know I should have done that. Okay, great. No, I want you to go, wow, if I'm a few years away from retirement and I'm able to save some of these dollars here, even if from a tax perspective it seems off short term, but long term it saves me way more money, wow, I want to know that. So I'm hoping you actually get tangible value from this video. I'm a big action-oriented person, not just, okay, that was cool, great, realize I should have done that, thank you. If you want to see more daily tips, make sure to always, by the way, follow me on Instagram at Early Retirement Ari, as well as on Facebook, same name. So here's the easiest way to look at this. This is a fancy software that has everything you could think of: retirement, insurance, education, tax, and all of these have subtabs. If you want to really nerd out, by the way, quick tangent here, and you want to go build your own tax return, be my guest. When someone's coming to me going, okay, can I retire early? I say, maybe, but let me see your tax return 10 years from now. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm just trying to like do this year's taxes. I go, well, then I don't know if you're in a spot to retire because I'm looking at tax returns 10 years into the future to help clients understand how much they can legally avoid in taxes, legally being the key word there. So what I'm gonna do for you today is I'm gonna click on this retirement tab. Once again, powerful software. If you wanna use this, comment optimize and I'll send you a link so you can use this. And inside the cash flows here, this is, you can see it in a waterfall, you can see it in a breakdown. Everyone likes looking at their retirement differently. I like using this graph right here, and I'm gonna show you why. Because it's very simple and easy to follow. So we're gonna stay in the upper left here, and this person's 58 years old, they wanna retire. Now, they don't wanna retire today because they're unsure if they have enough money to do so, but they're planning on 60. So you can see here, if I zoom in, 60 is the first year where income inflows from salary is zero. Today, they're working. They make $60,000 a year. So 60,000 is coming in the door. 76,000 is what they need to live their dream life. They have to then pay taxes because they're making money. They're saving a little bit of money. So 98,000 is going out the door. So if they wanted to spend 76,000 a year, they would need their portfolio to send them $38,000 so that they could live their dream life. This is not good. This is someone living in a deficit and spending more than they probably should. I'm now going to fast forward to 60, where their income is now zero. And their income is zero because they've stopped working, but they still need income to live. Now they want to spend $51,000 a year, and they want to take vacations another $5,300 that first year of retirement. So you can see here, they need to pay taxes. That's $4,951. This is what we're going to focus on today. So their total outflows is $61,000. You can see from age 60 here, 2028, all the way to 2034, when they're 66, they're spending about $4,000 a year, $4,400, $4,600, $4,700, $4,900, $4,800, $5,000 a year. So it's in that $4,500 to $5,000 a year range in taxes every single year. I'm going to show you how this could be close to zero if they are intentional about their strategy. Now, if we go to the far right here, we can see this number here is always going to match. So $61,500, that's what's needed for them to live their lifestyle. This is their net flows, meaning $61,500 needs to come from somewhere. It could be a combination of pension, Social Security, portfolio. But for most people, it's their portfolio until, let's fast forward to 2035. Well, now $22,000 is coming in from Social Security, which tells us $22,000 comes in, $56,000 is what they need, plus vacations, plus taxes. $68,000 is what's going out the door, meaning $45,000, that's the difference. 68 minus 22,000, that 45,000 is what's needed from their portfolio to make up their expenses. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, what I'm going to show you is this tax payment tab. When we click into this, you can see the federal taxes and FICA taxes. FICA is what you're paying when you're working. So this goes away when you stop. Then you pay federal taxes. But wouldn't it be cool if that was zero or close to zero? Well, check this out. What I can do is go into their plan, and I'm going to switch this from being a 401k to a superhero account, which is my nickname for a brokerage account, which is why I'm wearing this dopey little shirt here. So if I were to just do that, I don't change anything else, $500,000, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cost basis of $350 on that, meaning they put $350,000 in, and now it's worth $500. What is going to happen when I go back to the cash flows tab? Well, what you're going to see is if they are executing what's called tax gain harvesting to pay 0% in taxes, their tax payment goes away. So all I did was take that 401k and transition it into a superhero account. Now I can already hear some of you going, okay, but with the 401k, when I put money in, I get a tax deduction. So that actually saves me money. Then what happens is it grows tax deferred, don't pay any taxes. Then when I take the money out, I pay taxes. So along the way, you don't pay any taxes on dividends and interest, which is true. With a superhero account, you don't get a tax deduction and you have to pay dividends and interest every single year. But what comes with it is flexibility. What if you want to retire earlier than 59 and a half? What if the rule of 55 isn't an option for you? Well, the superhero account allows you to pay taxes on a different schedule. It allows you to pay taxes on this schedule right here, long-term capital gains tax rates. So if you're married finally jointly, you get to pay 0% in taxes, assuming your state doesn't have income tax like Florida. So $98,900 plus $32,200 is your standard deduction. So if you put those together, you're looking in the range of $130,000 of tax-free income you could generate, which is why on my screen here, you can see their tax payment is zero. Now, is it zero forever? No. What happens is starting at 75, they have what's called an RMD, required minimum distribution. So this planned distribution starts from their 401k, and that starts at $90,000 a year. That is taxed at ordinary income rates, which is why $17,840 is their tax bill that year. But before that, this is from 2042 to 2028. Those years, you're not paying any taxes. So let's take $5,000 just as an example. If we're taking $5,000 over those years, now if that's, let's call it 14 years, $5,000 times 14 years is $70,000 in taxes you legally avoided by just being intentional with your strategy. Now, a key variable here is this superhero account. Does it mean you shouldn't put money into your 401k? No. 401k is great. You get a tax deduction, it grows tax deferred, but when you take the money out, you do pay ordinary income taxes. So what you don't want to do is have all of your money in a 401k. The most popular video I ever put out on YouTube, you can see right here, over 500,000 of you guys watch this because you're like, yep, that's me. Most of my money's in my pre-tax account. I don't want you to make that mistake. I want you to have enough assets in another account. So one big takeaway is to consider, based on your financial plan, if the majority of your money is in a 401k today. Maybe we stop maxing it out or putting as much as we can into it to move money into this superhero account so that when it's time to actually create income for yourself, you may be able to pay 0% in taxes. And for the rest of your retirement, what you're able to do is put yourself in a strong position. Because if you want to do a Roth conversion, you can use your superhero account to pay for those taxes. If you want to do healthcare planning to keep your subsidies low, you can absolutely use a superhero account, which is why I think this is my favorite account. Don't sleep on this account. If you really want to see more detail why I love this account, comment superhero below and I'll send you a free guide as well as a video that helps you better understand why this is so powerful. And finally, if you're like, wow, I can tell you love this stuff, but I just want to make sure my retirement is optimized, make sure to go ahead and head to our website, rootfinancial.com. In the upper right, you'll see a little button that says, let's talk, answer a few questions, and we might be talking very soon. That's it for this video. Love you guys.